Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Fishing is Therapy. It's Chris here again. I'm working on a DIY project right now. Did a lot of research. I've been meaning to add a bait tank inside of my boat. And hey, I did some research, saw some really good ideas. Man, there's two channels. If you guys can look at this yellow container, you'll see it. One guy calls this container the Old Yeller. Thanks to my good friend, the Sunfish Assassin. Check out his channel as well. We're calling ours Banana Pudding, okay? So this is gonna be the bait tank for my Jon Boat. I got a 1448. I didn't want something too big, but this is a 20-gallon drum right here, polyethylene. What I really wanted is a screw lid because I've had like my cooler and things like that, but as I drive down the road, the water sloshes out. So this will really screw on and protect that. It has a gasket, sealed lid. I'm gonna go ahead and make this into a DIY live well. Stay tuned, I'm gonna show you the parts right after this. And after I show you everything that I'm gonna use, we're gonna dive right in and get it done. I'll let everything cure, come back, because I'm gonna add a little 5200 on this, and then we'll go ahead and fill it up with water, make sure everything works right, and hopefully you guys will find this useful so that you can utilize it on your Jon Boat. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna use, the main parts you need is to go ahead and grab you one of these Attwood 500-gallon Recirq cartridge, aerator kits, okay? This is an aerator kit, and I'm gonna use this one. They call it the Tsunami T500, but I know it's an Attwood brand. You guys can check the link down in the description, but I really wanted this kit because it already came with the screen that'll prevent fish scales. And it has the aerator spray head as well there. Go ahead and get that installed, and these are the areas I'm going to 5200, okay? Which is why I have my 5200 here. You're going to need that. I'm going to do something a little different. I didn't see anyone do this when they use their bait tank, but I'm going to go ahead and insulate mine with the reflective insulation. You know, I got that from Home Depot. Also, I'll link it in the description. For the wires for my bilge pump, for the aerator kit, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have all those together. You know, heat shrink them, have my heat shrink tubing, aluminum taping for that reflective foil tape to be able to tape this down for my insulation. I'm gonna use some hose clamps here, and these are 3/4 inch hose clamps. I'm gonna use these to be able to hold down the holes here on the bilge, okay? On the aerator kit. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut my hole with some spade bits. I'm gonna use the 3/4 inch, see how that works. And then another thing I didn't see anyone do yet is I bought this off of Amazon as well. But these are going to be the bulkheads, okay? This is going to be my drainage hole, okay? So I'm going to use these as a drain hole. They're PVC right here. And people use these for pools, but I saw another channel kind of use something similar. I found these, and I want to have a drainage hole so I don't have to dump that big 20-gallon tank out. Another thing I have right here is I'm going to plug this into a cigarette lighter, okay? So I'm going to use the DC to 12 volt here. I'm going to go ahead and cut these connectors off and use this right here to plug into my boat right here, okay? So I have the cigarette lighter plug right there. I'm gonna go ahead and attach that to the wire here. And so I can have that and just plug it directly into my boat, all right? And then once I get, then another thing that's very important I saw that the guy did who has the Old Yeller, I forget his channel, his name, but I'm gonna have a filter running. This is a hang on the back filter, okay? Internal power. 20 to 40 gallons from Walmart. You can get that for about 20 bucks or less. I think it was about 15 bucks for me. And then the last thing I'll need right here is this will be an inverter, okay? So when I plug this one up here, it doesn't have, of course, I showed you my plug over there that I have. I don't have this on my boat, of course. So I got an inverter to convert this for me, and then I can be able to plug it into my cigarette lighter. So without further ado, of course, you need your parts, you know, wire strippers, but the wires pretty much strip pretty well, crimps to be able to tighten anything down that I need. And most importantly, when you're putting that 5200 on, wear your gloves, okay? Measuring tape, simple things like that. But this is what you'll need, of course, the drill for your spade bits. Let's go ahead and jump in.
All right, guys, so we jump right in with this bait tank. The first thing I'm doing right here is just labeling where I want it to be at, marking my spot so I can cut the hole with the spade bit, and I ended up having to use a step drill as well. So I got 2 holes, top and bottom. And this spade bit actually got really warm and it kind of melted the polyethylene around it, but we were able to get both of the holes cut in pretty good form. And now at this junction, I'm just making sure my aerator spray head fits really well, and just seeing how it fits so I can get ready to put the 5200 in once I finish this process. And just finishing my bottom hole right now at this point.
All right, so at this point right here, I was able to cut the hole. So it took a 1-inch saw paddle bit, and then it got a little stuck for some reason in the polyethylene. I don't know if it's just that drill bit, but I had to use a step drill on mine, just a 1-inch size, to be able to make it go all the way through. So now we have that done. Let's go ahead and get our holes and everything cut to the right size.
Now at this point, I'm just marking my holes exactly where I want to make the cut at. You have to be really accurate at this point and know the angle that you want it at so you can avoid, it not fitting or bunching up or bending up your holes right here. So I was very careful in this area. Then I just go ahead and make a cut once I'm really comfortable where I want it to be at. And then I'm gonna go ahead and attach everything, and I got some hose clamps. They're about 1/2-inch size, and that worked out really well for this build, so get you guys some of those. And I definitely opted with stainless steel hose clamps right here. I'm showing you them, and they're 1/2-inch right now. That worked out really well. All you need is a flat head, and I was able to tighten them down really snug, actually, surprisingly. Now at this point right here, I'm just remember to put your hose clamps on before you actually attach the holes right there, and I'm just doing that and just putting everything there, and then when I get ready to put everything together, I go ahead and tighten down those hose clamps, okay? And so I have it attached at the top, have it attached at the bottom, just working on where my water flow will be at and where I'll actually 5200 things at.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and get this go ahead and get this put in right here.
And now at this point, I'm using a step drill. I'm using a 1-inch size step drill. My drain plug was 1 inch, and I wanted it to be really snug. As you can see me kind of torquing it down in there, packing it in there, and that's going to work out really well with that 5200. So the drain plug turned out really well. Now at this point, I'm not applying the 5200 too liberally, but I want it to be nice and neat. I want it to really make a really great seal around this gasket, around the aerator spray head at the top. I think that's going to cause the most pressure. I'm just going to go around, take my time, make sure it's nice and neat. And then what you don't see here is that I follow up with acetone just to get the areas that kind of got a little bit messy. But top and bottom of the hole is 5200 very well, and it's a tight fit.
All right, now got that on there pretty well, all around the edges, right at the top. That whole area is done pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the other section.
And right here, I'm taking special care to make sure I got that drain plug really sealed well with that 5200 to avoid any future leaks.
All right, guys. So right now, I got all that 5200 set up, and so everything is set right where I want it to be. Drain plug right where I want it to be, and we're gonna let this thing cure overnight because the 5200 has to cure. I did a fairly good job. Look, without getting it on my hands, that's just ashy from the latex. I did a pretty good job, and I used acetone to remove any areas that I didn't kind of want on here, so use acetone for yourself as well. But right now what I'm going to do is I cut this down. I'm going to add this cigarette lighter plug right here to the recirculation pump. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get that wired in right now, let this thing sit and cure overnight, come back tomorrow, and then it's our final test, put water in it. If everything works out, we have a live well. All right, and it's time to catch live bait this year. I want to work on my casting of my shad net, so hey man, let's go ahead and get it. And I know what you guys are going to ask. This cigarette lighter already has a fuse installed, so I don't need to put one on the right side. It's already in here, so you don't need to double fuse the area. So I know you're going to ask about that. And since it's on here, I'm gonna just go ahead and test this really quick. Yeah, we got sound. So I'm gonna be using a Tnuocke battery. I use this for my kayak when I was running my fish finder on a kayak. So what I did is take their wire I bought an extra wire for like accessories from them, so I can connect it here, and I put a cigarette lighter receptacle on here, okay, for the female. All right, it already has a fuse there, and then I also showed you how we have a fuse here inside of the cigarette lighter, the male side, okay, and we just plugged everything in. Let's try it once more, and let's see if we get that magic sound you guys want to hear, because it looks like it works to me. Nice. All right, we don't want to run it too long. I don't want to run it while it's dry, but there we go. So now I'm gonna just heat shrink everything. I just want to test it before I heat shrink everything. And so this is a 10 milliamp hour battery right here. So just gonna keep it running for quite a while. So I'll have this one just sitting next to the live well. I may find a way to attach it to the side or something like that. We'll see how I do that. But I'll probably just set it next to the live well. This will be attached there, and then the hang on the back filter, will be plugged into my actual boat. Okay, so if one dies, I can be able to say at least I have circulation, and just keep the water, change out the water, because I have a little pump where I can hang it over the side of the boat, and then it pulls water into here. I can do that as well, and just keep changing out water every couple of, half a day, change the water to bring out that ammonia. But I'm gonna have that ammonia lock in there. I'm gonna have that shad keeper and that rock salt as well. So I'm happy that things are turning out pretty well. Let's go ahead and get everything buttoned up, and we back tomorrow. All right, guys, it's the next day. I got my hang on the back filter in here. Well, it's not the next day, it's 2 days later. I let it cure for 48 hours, but this is my hang on the back that I saw from the channel. I'm gonna show his channel. Just put a link right there for you guys to check out his as well. But I'm gonna use this hang on the back. I got some filter media I use for my aquarium. I have fish already, but I'm gonna just use this for now. Probably just buy more of these filters, but this is what I'm gonna use. Of course, I did something a little different than what I saw in the other tanks. I put a 5200 there, and I put a drainage plug. So if you look from the outside here, and I just sealed it around, I use my gloves. Everything is, firm right now. And you just tighten it up here, and let me just loosen that for you. It's pretty firm, actually. It's a drainage plug. So you just gotta loosen that. Can't get it with one hand right now. But you basically just loosen this and then drain out the water. Just tilt it and drain it. So I have the T500, the Tsunami recirculating pump that already has the screen. See, I saw some, and the ones I was looking at, they had the filter and it was already long. Like this whole tube in right here was already pretty long. I wanted mine kind of right here, and we'll see how that plays out. I'm hoping that my that my water circulation is at the right angle for what I want. But I just 5200 everything around here. It's set up pretty well. Overnight, over the last 48 hours. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get out there and test everything out and see. Hopefully everything works. Time to fill her up. She's almost full. I'm gonna run her, make sure there's no leaks or anything like that, and we'll be all set. All right, guys, I'm gonna get ready to plug her in. Plug her in right here. All right, and we'll see if she runs. All right, I'll show you the first run. I did do a test run, and under this fitting right here there was a leak. Hopefully you guys can see that there was a little leak right there coming out, because this is a plastic fitting and doesn't have a washer. Well, it has a black washer, but it's just, I already knew. So I put 5200 around the threads, and then I sealed it around here. All right, so then we're just going to double check. I didn't put any around the hose clamps. I just really clamped them down tight. We'll see if any leaks here. Last time I did it, there weren't any leaks here, so we'll see. Now let's go ahead and get her plugged up. There she is, running nice. Recirculating. Water running nice. Well, it looks to be working. Yeah, I don't see any leaks, so that's working out well. And I'll be running this on my boat, and I'm gonna hang on the back right here, and that'll be plugged into the cigarette lighter of my boat. So Tnuocke 10 amp hour, running the recirculating pump, and then I could switch out, you know. But I really want to have that recirculation. But look, everything works out well. Got the filter screen on there. Water going right. I'm gonna have to put more water in there. Tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and fish with some blueback herring. I'm gonna try to see how 3 dozen will live up in here, and with the 20 gallons, with this 20-gallon drum, and then I'll add insulation if I do need to. All right, but right now I'm satisfied. All right, guys, thanks for staying tuned to another episode of Fishing is Therapy. Got this project done. I'm so excited to get it done because it was a little bit, you know, time consuming just to be able to do it. You know, I had a pretty busy week, but just in time for the weekend. It's Friday, so I'm going out tomorrow, Saturday, head over to Hammond's, grab some blueback herring, put some shad keeper in here. You put twice the amount if you want to do blueback herring. Shad keeper, troll around with some planer boards. All right, guys, I'll let you know any updates regarding this tank, okay? Drop down in the comments and let me know how you feel about it, any feedback, any advice, anything that I can, in the future, that I may, you know, run into, okay? I really appreciate that, but thank you for all the support. Like the video, comment, and subscribe. See you on another episode of Fishing is Therapy. Peace.